Hi guys, welcome to our book club. Today we will have our second session of this beginner's level. Currently we are reading Pugs of the Frozen North, a book written by Sarah McIntyre and Philip Reeve. This is the second book we read of them, and this video will cover from chapter 4 to chapter 6. So without anything else to say, let's just start. Welcome back guys. As I told you in the introduction, today we will review from chapter 4 to chapter 6, but before that let's review what happened earlier in the story. So remember that Shen is our protagonist. He is a little boy that is traveling in a ship that suddenly was surrounded by the frozen sea, and because of that the ship was useless, so the tripulation had to abandon the ship. However, inside the cargo, inside the packages, the boxes that they were transporting, they had 66 pugs. So they were so many. And at the end, the captain decided to leave them behind. But Shen said like, no way, I have to take care of them. I need to help them. So he remained with the dogs, and the captain and other two members of the tripulation left them alone. So we have Shen in the middle of the North Pole, and he has 66 pugs. So among all the boxes, the cargo in the ship, he found some sweaters, so he dressed the pugs, and he went out for some help. After walking for a very long time, he found a village that was very close to the sea. And in that village, he found a little girl that her name is Sika. And as soon as he told her like, hey, I need your help, I have 66 pugs. I have 66 dogs and they need some food and I need some help. She got super excited, and well, they are in their way to rescue the dogs. So that is so far what happened in the story. So I will start sharing my screen and we will continue with chapter 4. So I'm already sharing my screen here, and we have the cover of the chapter number 4. Here is Sika, here is Shen, and this is the sled they are pushing. And well, once they arrive with the dogs, it's after pushing, they are tired, they are exhausted, they are panting, they are like, because they were walking. And finally, when they arrived to the highest point, the rest it was just sliding. So it was very normal for Sika, but for Shen it was a nice experience. So he is a little bit not scared, but he is be watching around. So he just careful. And once they arrive, Sika was like, where? Looking around, those are dogs. Because she thought that Shen had 66 dogs, not just mini dogs. So Sika was a little bit disappointed of that. And she started to cry. So here we have the moment, Sika realized they were little dogs. And here we have that, Sika started to cry. So tears trickled down her face and drip off her chin. So that means, some tears were just running down until here. So, and then, they were hitting the eyes, so they were making plinking sounds. So plinking will be the sound of a drop. Imagine something metal. This is metal, so imagine that something is dripping on it, so this is plinking. That is an onomatopoeia, guys. So this is the onomatopoeia of something that is some drops They are falling. And well, like she is a little bit disappointed because like they cannot pull the sled. And everything it was because like Sika, she didn't tell Shen before, but she had the idea that she could help her grandparent to participate in a contest. So here we have, like the explanation. So here we have. I thought Grandpa could enter the race after all, sniffled Sika. And now I will have to go home and tell him it is hopeless. What race? The Great Northern Race, said Sika miserably. When true winter comes, the teams arrive from all over the north. They would race through the night forest and across the frozen sea, all the way to the Snowfather's palace at the top of the world. Shen scratched his head. Scratched. He remembered the charts he'd seen on board the Lucky Star. The North Pole was just a patch of bare paper so big and white it made him want to get a pencil out and draw something, anything on it. So here is Sika telling Shen that they need to cross the North Pole in order to arrive to this palace where the Snowfather is, because he will grant a wish to the first person who arrives there. But like here when he says that Shen remembered the shards. The shards are the maps. So remember that in a map we have the North Pole and we don't have houses, we don't have anything there. It's just empty. So that's why he says that it's just a patch of very paper so big and wide that it made him want to get out a pencil and draw something on it. So it would just like a piece of shit, and like nothing on it, blank. So you want to do something in order to fill it. And what else? So it says, "There is, if it is a true winter," said Sika. "There's where the Snowfather lives, and he grants the wish of the first adventurer to reach it." She sighed. "Grandpa almost won it once when he was not much older than me. Such stories he tells about that journey, and he's waited and waited for true winter to return ever since. He kept his sled and bred the best team of sled dogs in the north." So for example here, guys, breath, it would be the passive breathe, that it would be racing. He was taking care of some dogs. But through winter only came once during like the grandpa's life. So he is about to die. He's very old. So that's why Sika is a little bit disappointed. And remember that we have all the conditions so the true winter is happening. And what does it say? Well, she's a little bit disappointed because the dogs are not big dogs for pulling a sled. So here we have that, like she is a little bit disappointed, and Shen said like, "Oh no, let's try it." So he start, like knotting some leashes. Leashes will be correas, and little harnesses, that will be el arnés. And then, like we have here that little by little, they start, like pulling the sled. So we have, oh, this is important. So here we have the Pugs caught his excitement and started to jib and jab and dance around, straining and pulling at the heavy thing he had hitched them out. Hitched them to, sorry. So here we have jib and jab, and jib and jab, it is also an onomatopoeia. Jib, it will be when a dog is barking, like super sharp, like woof, woof, woof. That would be like jib. And jab, it is almost the same. So this is the sound for little dogs. They don't bark, they yap and jib. So there you go, and we have that they start, like lining them, knocking them to the sled. Remember that the sled, it is, like the thing you use to slide on the snow. And it says the 10 pugs couldn't shift the sled at all. They didn't move it. 20 couldn't either. Even 30 were attached. It didn't budge, and Sika said, "See? They just aren't sled dogs. This is hopeless." So they have the half of the dogs, and they can. However, it says, but when 40 dogs were tied on, the big sled steered and slid few inches over the ice. When 50 were attached, it started to gather speed. When the 66 was in position, Sika shouted, "Mosh, doggies, mosh!" So mosh, it would be something similar to say arre, arre. So, like it says that 66 pugs were enough to pull the sled. So they are super excited about it, and Sika is happy again, and she is thinking that probably her grandparent can go to the race. So they are hurrying to Sika's house. So I can't wait to tell Grandpa. So they are hurrying to Sika's house, and here we have a beautiful image with the 66 pugs. And here are the delicious guys. Those here around the dogs are the harnesses, and we have here, for example, the whip. The whip. This is the sled again, and well, here you have. What else? So here we have chapter number 5. So in the chapter we have that they arrive finally at Sika's house. We have Sika's house here. This is Sika's mother, and she's preparing, I'm pretty sure, like hot chocolate or something hot, because it's the North Pole. And well, they are super excited, telling her that probably her grandparent can participate in the race. So in the next page we have, like a woman was heating milk. Probably not hot chocolate. It said just heating milk, and it says the same charcoal eyebrows as Sika. So remember that eyebrows. So they have the same eyebrows. So charcoal, that would be obscuras. Like como carbón, charcoal, the color. So it says, well, like Sika's mother is preparing breakfast, and then like they go finally with Sika's grandfather. So we have Sika's grandfather. This is the room, and Shen is very like impressed, because he says that there is just a mountain of blankets. So at the end, he realized that it's not a mountain, it was her grandparent. So also, he says that probably he was very old and he was just about to die. But, well, so here we have that the grandparent is alive. He wakes up and he starts telling them stories about the race. So let's see. It says, "It did not always used to be a race," said Grandpa in his deep, rumbly voice. Rumbly will be row, 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 like that. "In the olden days, no one knew of the Snowfather or his igloo palace. Then, one true winter, a brave girl named Oka strapped on her skis and went exploring. Across Kraken Deep she went, but old Kraken, he was sleeping far beneath the ice and did not trouble her. All the way to the top to the wall she went, and when she got there she found the old Snowfather waiting, and he granted her a wish." So we have here that this girl called Oka, it says strap on her skis. It was just that, like she put her skis on the skis for skiing, like the I have a pencil and I have a pen. So imagine that those are my skis and like I go skiing. So she just like put them on and she crossed the Kraken deep. The Kraken was sleeping, so he didn't notice it. He didn't notice her. And then we have that she finally arrived to Snowfather's house and he granted her a wish. So, yeah, I told you, hot chocolate. So, well, like Sika's mother arrived with the breakfast, and then grandfather continues with the story. So it says, well, of course, Oka's story spread far and wide. One lifetime later, when another true winter turned the sea to ice, all the brave young men of the north went racing off to see if they couldn't get their wishes granted too. Oh no, said the Snowfather. Do you know how hard it is to make wishes come true? Only the one who was first to reach me shall have their wish granted. And, well, it says, well, after that, each time through winter dawned, so arrived, there were all sorts of fights and rages. So everybody were, like everybody was fighting, and they were, like me, it's my turn. I will be number one. I will be the first. So that's why at the end it says here, and that is why ever since all those who seek the Snowfather's palace set out together from Snowdovia. That is where I started from the year I made the trip. So here is Grandpa saying that he participated in the race once, and he was about to win, but he didn't win. So when he finished the story, Sika says, "Oh, tell us more." And her grandfather says something like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, but I don't have more details. I don't remember the the race anymore. It was so long ago." And here, Sika uh, tells her grandfather that he could participate because they have dogs, but her grandfather says like, "Come on, I'm too old. It's your turn. You should participate in the race." So Sika's grandmother is a little bit concerned about it, but her grandfather assured them that they will be okay because first of all, he was almost the same age when he participated in the race. Second, the sled has carved some symbols, so protection symbols, so they will be protected from all the creatures and dangers in the race. And third, even Sika's mother wants to participate in the race because she has heard her father's stories, but she cannot participate because she's taking care of him. So it's Sika's time, and at the end, Sika wants to participate, and Shen says like, "Well, I will go with you because I don't have anything else to do right now. So let's go." And well, it is time. It is time to go to the race. It is happening. So they are, packing everything very quickly, and they are rushing to the start line. So we have here that the race will begin soon. We have here Shen and Sika, they are preparing, and then we have chapter number 6. So this is the town, guys. This is the town. This is Snowdovia. And here we have the same as at the beginning, like the style of houses. And pay attention in the picture because everything is here. So we have a balloon that is floating over the city. We have some sleds. They are getting ready. We have a lot of people. And let's continue. So it says the town of Snowdovia was built in the same style as the bow of ice on stilted platforms along a fjord edge. So remember that. Oh, sorry. This is it. This is the fjord, those are the lakes, and these are the houses with the chimneys. Okay, so here we have that it says bunting and strings of lights festooned the houses, so they were decorated. The people of the town lined the balconies outside their homes to watch as the adventurer who meant to race the top of the world came sledding into the fjord. So we have the people line to watch the adventurers that will participate in the race. So we have the first participate, the first candidate, and we have at the Limpettville Institute of Technology, Professor Shackleton. Professor Shackleton Jones had known about the winter coming by the excited way the northern lights made his particle detectors pink. So, okay. Oh, come on, guys. I have problems to read this. The Limpettville Institute of Technology, Professor Shackleton. So, he knew about the storm, not the storm, about the true winter, because it says that the northern lights made his particle detectors pink. So if you don't know what is northern lights, those are the auroras boreales. So it's describing that because he has some detectors and they detected something and they start like pink, 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 pink. So that's why it says, like pink. And well, it says he was determined to reach the top of the world using the power of science. He and his robot companion Snowbot swept into Snowdovia on a carbon fiber sled so strong and lightweight that it was barely there at all. So it says carbon fiber is talking about the sled that is so small and very, very light. It's not heavy. That it's just like very little. So here we have the robots. And also it says, on a lonely island not far from Snowdovia, Helga Hammerfest had learned of the big freeze by watching the flight of geese and the way the spiders spun the cobwebs. So we have that this participant, he read the northern lights, the detectors. And this participant named Helga, she knew about the true winter because of the flight of geese, the gansos, like how they fly. And also by the way the spiders made their cobwebs. So she read the nature. And it says she had read it. She had prepared her sled and harnesses up her team. No dogs for Helga, just two pet polar bears, Snowdrop and... So instead of dogs, she has two big bears, Slush Puppy and Snowdrop. Those are very funny names for bears. And it says she was a local favorite because, like she has two bears. And then here is, like Helga and the two bears. So then we have another participant, and this is very interesting. I think this will be the villain of the story, but let's see. It says, Sir Basil Sprout Dumpling heard of the freeze from his butler, Sideplate, who had been keeping watch of the weather forecast. So we have another guy, a rich guy, because he has a butler, mayordomo. And the butler knew about the true winter because he paid attention to the weather forecast. So, el pronóstico del tiempo. So it says, Sir Basil's father had been the first to reach the top of the world the last time true winter came. He had met the Snowfather and has his wish granted, which was to be ridiculously rich. He had gone back to England with a fortune in rubies, sapphires, and diamonds, but Sir Basil had spent it all. If we don't beat this riffraff to the pole side plate. Oh, sorry. If we don't beat this riffraff to the pole side plate, he said, I shall have to sell off the old stately home. So we have this Sir Basil who has a butler, and the butler's name is Cyplate. That is very funny because, like su mayordomo, his name is Cyplate, como el acompañamiento, la guarnición, lo que va al lado. So that's very funny. It's a funny name for a mayordomo. So we have that his father was the last winner of the race. So his wish was to be extremely rich. But he spent all the money. So right now they are discussing. Sir Basil is telling his bottle like, "Hey, we have to win." Because if we don't win, I have to sell my house, and it's an excellent, a very big, it's an elegant, luxurious house, but I have to sell it because I don't have money. So they have to win yes or yes, and Sir Basil is a little bit like saying that they have to win. It doesn't matter. They have to do. By all means, they have to win. So we have that side plate, the butler, the butler. He's like, but sir, I think we shouldn't, like cheat. And Sir Basil is like, whatever, I don't care. So we have that, and finally we have, like a pink sled that pull up, so stop next to Sir Basil, and like on the sled, it was Mitzi von Prim, most glamorous of all the racers. How embarrassed her team of huskies look, clipped like poodles and dyed pink to match Mitzi's stylish racing outfit. So we have this pink lover, the participant. Her name is Mitzi, and she loves so much pink that she dyed. So the four of her dogs, it's pink, and they were, like the style of the dogs, it was like poodles. So we have an image here. So this is pink, and this is Mitzi, stylish, like the most fashion, the fashionist in the group. And we have, like those four were not the only entrants for the race. There were dozens of others. So we have modern sleds with GPS and central heating, age-old sleds of wood and bone, a sled folded out of seed paper by an origami master from Japan, and an inflatable sled advertising Poop Be Gone, Pooper Scoopers. That's funny. So it says there was even a sled crewed by two women who were doing the race for charity dressed in a zebra costume. It took quite a while to get them all sorted out and arranged along the starting line. The overexcited dogs woof and yap and howl and sniff each other's bottoms and started some fights. So here we have that those four participants, I guess they will be some of the secondary characters. That's why the author mentioned them. But we have more. We have dozens, including, like some two women in a zebra costume, and they are participating for charity. Then we have, like these pooper scoopers that scoopy will be the action of doing this. Like for example, when you are like picking up the poop of your dog, you need like a shovel. So this is, like the movement scoop. Or when you buy some, I don't know, some beans, some grains, some powder, like the tool you use, you scoop. So that is the action and the name of the tool. And it says poop be gone, pooper scooper, so they are cleaning. They are cleaning the poop. And what else? So this I told you that Jeep, where is it? They said that they are, oh, here. It says woof and yap. So woof, it will be woof woof, like a big dog. And yap, that will be also like a woof woof, but like a small dog. Yap, it will be like ladrido agudo. So this is big dog, this is small dog. Howl, it will be ow, and sniff, it will be, like it says others bottom, so that would be, like the yeah, a synonym of us. So, well, we have that they are, like they are behaving as dogs. So we have Marshall, like the one who is checking that everything goes well, that is going from one place to another. So this is an expression, to and fro. So that would be like around, like, like checking everything here, there. Everything is good. And, well, it says when, like this, Marshall was about to give the shot for starting the race. Shane and Sika were just arriving, like they were in a rush. So everybody said like, hey, stop. There's, like somebody else. So at the end, they stop. And they stop close to Sir Basil. So we have that, like everybody saw the pugs. And they said like, those dogs will run like pugs. Like, I don't think so. And like we have that they start telling the judges that, oh, come on, pugs, they are not even, like dogs for running, and they are too small and too many, and this is this. And then we have a character, Helga, that Helga says aloud like, come on, we have robots, we have pink dogs, we have, like also you and you, that you have more dogs than the rules said. So at the end, just because of that, it's okay for him, like to participate. And, well, I have some bears, so come on, that's not an impediment. So they agree, everybody will participate. And here we have that, like the marshal. The marshal, it says, let me just, like read this. So it says, so the chief marshal wrote Shen's and Sika's name on her clipboard and stepped into the little balloon that was waiting off the fjord side to carry her up above the starting line. So I don't know if you remember, at the beginning of the chapter, we have a balloon, a hot balloon that is a hot air balloon that is just, like flying over the city. So here it says that the marshal just, like was flying on that balloon. And, well, it says that, like they are just about to start the race. And here we have that, oh, something very funny happened. So when Sika and Shen, they are getting ready, they also say thank you to Helga because, like she helped them. And Shen says like, oh, thank you, sir. And Sika says like, hey, it's a girl. And Shen was so embarrassed, and Helga says like, oh, don't worry. People always, like, people is always wrong. And I think, like it's because of my beard. So we have that she was using beard in order to protect her face from the ice. So Helga, like at some moment she commented to Mitzi like, oh, you should do the same instead of using, like so many layers. But Mitzi says like, I'm okay with my jacket, so leave me alone. So we have here Helga and here is Mitzi. And once everybody is ready, we have that the marshal is giving the instructions. So we have here, welcome to the Great Northern Race. Now you all know the course. North through the night forest, then over Kraken Deep, and then by whatever route you want to the palace at the top of the world. Good luck. Give our regards to the Snowfather, and may the best sled win. So the marshal, it says, then she fired her starting pistol, the racers cracked their whips and hollered at their dogs, and the sled set off rushing across the ice. So the lady just, like shot, and everybody start running. But it says the racers crack their whips. So here, crack guys, is to crack something, the noise. For example, when you eat some chips, they crack. So here the what the author wants to say is like they crack their whips. Okay? And well, I think, oh, here we have the image. So this is the marshal, this is the pistol. She is flying in a hot air balloon. We have here all the people line. And here we have the participants, that they are so many. So we have Shen here with the 66 pugs. We have here Helga with the 2 bears. And I don't know what is the robot, but we have, like everybody's here. So we have here that there were some disasters right away, which was only to be expected with so many sleds all starting out together. Some tangled in each other's runners, some of the dogs' pack stopped running and started fighting. A speedy Russian sled crashed nose first into a hole that opened suddenly in the ice. Sir Basil chuckled and tossed away a can of antifreeze. So we have that because everybody started at the same time, dogs were tangling. Like they run, everybody, like their own path, so they tangled, se enredaron. And also, some of the dogs, they start fighting. And we have a participant that just fall into water because Sir Basil, remember that he was the relative of the last winner, he tossed away a can of antifreeze. So he was responsible of this accident. And Chuckle was like, a small laugh. And we have here then that a small avalanche triggered by all the noise came rushing down the fjord side and crumbled the origami sled before it had gone 10 years. So we have here the origami sled, that it was rain because of an avalanche that happened because of the noise that everybody, was doing, the barks, the like people speaking, howling, etc. So no origami sled. And then it says the inflatable sled pop. When one of the dogs pulling the sled behind, it mistook it for a huge runaway sausage and took a bite. So we have that there's an inflatable sled, and the dog confused the sled with a hot dog, so it beat it. So we have here, and then it says, and 3 sleds were knocked over when the chief marshal's balloon fell on top of them. She had accidentally punctured it when she fired the starting pistols. So we have here in the first image that the marshal, she shot, but accidentally she shot grunkly, and she made a hole in the balloon. So she fall over 3 participants. So we have a lot of participants, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 participants that they are no more in the race. So we have that Shackleton, like the ones with the robots, they are very, very fast. They are at the beginning of the race. The same thing as Sir Basil. And we have also Mitzi, that she took a shortcut. So atajo. We have the polar bears galloped lazily along. So we have that everybody is running and the bears are just, like walking like, oh. And at the end of everything, we have Shen. And Shen is a little bit worried because he said like, okay, we are already in the race, but we are at the end. We are so behind. And Sika is like, don't worry about it. It's not about the first one. It's not about the fastest participant. It's about arriving first. And the race will take a week. So anything can happen. And well, we have here that the dogs are super happy. They are just, like running. And we have here. So the jeep is, like the way they, the sound they are doing. And we have a lot of onomatopoeias. Remember that onomatopoeia, it is the how we write or how we represent with words a sound. So we have here that when the runner, so that is the sounds when you are sliding on the ice. And then we have the whoo, that is the wind, whistling. So that is it. We have here, like they are behind, they are on their own pace, and well, I'm pretty sure that is the end. Yeah, this is the end. So this is the end of chapter number 6. And remember that we have to pay attention to the drawings in order to understand some little details. And the story has some vocabulary that repeats almost all the time. For example, sled will be a word that repeats almost all the time. So I hope, like these 3 chapters were a little bit easier than the first ones. So, well, guys, this is the story until now. It is getting good. They are already in the race. So, let's see what happened with all these participants next time. But meanwhile, continue having an excellent reading and see you next Saturday at 2 p.m. So, thank you so much and see you later, guys. Bye.
We gather around and chat all day. New words to learn in every way. No fear of wrong, just give a try. We're flying high like birds in sky. From A to Z we say hello. Each day we watch our language grow. Together we will break the ice. In Talk English we find paradise. Right now, let's talk in English, hear us loud. Breaking barriers, tearing down the clouds. Every word's a step we're taking now. In this club we'll make each other proud. Hey now, let's talk in English, hear us loud. Breaking barriers, tearing down the clouds. Every word's a step we're taking now. In this club we'll make each other proud. With laughter, jokes and stories told. In conversation hearts unfold. We share, we learn, we understand. Building bridges hand in hand. No grammar rules can hold us still. We're climbing higher up that hill. Every sentence, every phrase. In Talk English, we like the blaze. In Talk English, we like the blaze. Hey now, let's talk in English here as loud. Breaking barriers, tearing down the clouds. Every word's a step we're taking now. In this club, we'll make each other proud. Hey now, let's talk in English here as loud. Breaking barriers, tearing down the clouds. Every word's a step we're taking now. In this club, we'll make each other proud.